You lie in darkness, and yet your mind glows. What is a thought, if not a whisper from within? Neurons flicker like stars in a quiet galaxy. We begin with a miracle of your conscious breath. You lie still beneath the covers, eyes closed, breath soft. The room is quiet, but within you, something glows. Not a light you can touch, not one that shines from outside, but a warmth behind your eyes, alive, flickering. This is the hum of your mind. You may not notice it at first, the same way a fish forgets the water it swims in, but it's there, always there. Thought, awareness, you, dot, and so we begin, not with stars or souls or the great beyond, but with something closer, something intimate, the quiet weight of a single thought. What is a thought? Is it a word, a feeling, a picture in your mind? Sometimes it's all of those things. Sometimes it's none. A thought can be as small as a whisper or as vast as a dream. But whatever its shape, it always begins somewhere deep inside the folds of your brain. A place as mysterious and infinite in its own way as the night sky, inside your head. Nearly 86 billion neurons rest in silence until they don't. They flicker like fireflies, each one passing tiny sparks of energy to the next. These flashes are called electrical impulses, but the dance they create, that's your mind. Every idea, every memory, every passing feeling of love or longing. It rises from these tiny lights that blink in patterns, too fast to see. If you could shrink yourself down and float among those neurons, it might look like a galaxy, a silent cosmos where light sips between stars, forming shapes and echoes. And maybe that's what a thought really is, a constellation drawn in the dark, connecting pieces of yourself that you didn't know could touch. Right now, as you rest, your brain isn't idle. Even in sleep, it's alive, gently washing memories into place, drifting through quiet loops of emotion and wandering in dreams. Your mind never truly stops. It just changes pace, slows its rhythm like a tide easing back from the shore. Isn't it beautiful, then, to think of consciousness, your consciousness, as a tide, one that rises and falls, not just with sleep and wake, but with moments of joy, fear, wonder, and calm. You don't always notice the tide turning, but it shapes everything. It brings you back to yourself, and now, in this moment, you return. You return to your body, to the air moving in and out of your lungs, to the stillness beneath your skin. You return to the thought, I am. 3 simple letters, a sentence, a sensation, but perhaps also a mystery, because where does that I live? Point to your chest and you find a heartbeat. Point to your head and you find a mind. But the you that observes, the you behind your eyes, isn't so easy to find. Scientists call it the hard problem of consciousness. How does a brain, made of flesh and electricity, produce the feeling of being you? Some say it's an illusion, that consciousness is just a side effect, like steam rising off boiling water. Others believe it's the deepest truth we know, not just a trick of biology, but the source of everything else. Either way, the question remains, what is the weight of a thought? You can't weigh it on a scale. You can't hold it in your hand. And yet, thoughts carry so much. They lift you into memory. They drag you into fear. They soften your heart, press you forward. Thoughts build cities and start wars. They shape lives. They whisper at night. And sometimes, a single thought is enough to change everything. Consider this. A thought can survive longer than your breath, longer than your heartbeat, longer than your body. What you think becomes what you write, what you teach, what you give. In this way, your consciousness may outlive you, not in the mystical sense, not yet, but in the real one, in the ripple of minds you've touched, in the dreams you've passed along. So maybe thought has weight after all, not in pounds, not in atoms, but in meaning. Close your eyes. Imagine your mind as a quiet lake. At the center floats a single stone. It drops, and ripples bloom outward in soft circles, touching every corner. It may feel small, but it reaches further than you know. And now the question deepens. Who is it that watches the ripple? Is it your brain, your body, or something quieter? We'll drift into that question soon. But for now, you rest in the glow of awareness, not trying to solve, just noticing, letting the warmth of presence settle around you like a soft blanket. The mind doesn't need to race. Tonight, it simply floats, and perhaps, as you begin to drift towards sleep, you'll feel something gentle rise, a sense that you are more than neurons, more than biology. That consciousness, in its soft and glowing way, is its own kind of miracle. Let that thought carry you gently now, into deeper waters, into the place where awareness fades, not into silence, but into something wider, deeper. A theater of light behind the dark, but who watches the thoughts as they pass? Who sits behind the curtain of your mind? In the next chapter, we'll step into the quiet stage where consciousness plays its secret show. Who watches your thoughts pass by? Is the mind a stage, and you its quiet audience? Tonight, we slip behind the curtain. We explore the mysterious space where attention drifts and where you, the true observer, quietly waits. You are still. The room has not changed, but inside you, something shifts. A flicker of awareness, a pull behind your eyes. You are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. Have you ever noticed that? How thoughts seem to pass by, even when you try to hold them still. A worry rises, then fades. A memory appears, then dissolves. Even your sense of self, who you are, what you want, what you fear, it changes from day to day, and yet something remains. A watcher, a presence, the quiet audience inside your head. Tonight, we step behind the curtain. Hidden theater of your mind. Imagine this. You're sitting alone in a dark room. Before you is a stage. The curtains open. One by one, characters appear. Thoughts, feelings, images, a flash of a childhood home, a sudden echo of a song, a strange idea with no name. They play their parts, they speak, they gesture, they glow. Some are loud, some are soft, some stay longer than they should. But you are the one watching. You are not the thought. You are the space it moves through. This is the theater of consciousness, and you are both its audience and its silent architect. Your brain is the stage machinery, billions of neurons firing in silent coordination. Lights, sounds, colors, emotions, all shaped by the incredible electrical web inside your skull. But your mind, that's the show. It feels seamless, doesn't it? The way thoughts rise without effort. The way memories flicker to life as if summoned by a spell. But there's no magic here, only mystery. Neuroscientists can trace the pathways of a memory, or scan the rhythm of your sleep, but they still don't know why it feels like someone is inside, watching it all unfold. That someone is you, or at least the idea of you. Let's drift closer to the edge of that idea. If your brain is a machine, then who programmed it to notice, to care, to feel surprised? When a new thought enters your mind, when something catches your attention, like the whisper of wind outside your window, or the distant memory of someone's smile, you feel it. You experience it. It becomes real. Not in the world outside, but in the private space of your awareness. This space, this glowing, invisible chamber of thought. That is the hidden theater. And it's always running. Even now, even as you lie in bed, maybe you begin to notice your breath, the cool air as it enters your nose, the gentle warmth as it leaves. You didn't choose to notice it, but now that you do, it becomes the focus of your awareness, a spotlight on the stage. This is attention, the quiet force that moves the beam of your awareness from thought to sound, to memory, to sensation. One moment at a time. Attention is like a hand gently pulling back the curtain. And who controls it? You do, or do you? Sometimes it seems like thoughts have minds of their own. You try to rest, but your brain replays a conversation from yesterday. You try to focus, but your mind drifts toward the future, spinning images of things that haven't happened yet. It's like a play that rewrites itself mid-performance. But here's the gentle truth. You don't have to stop the play. You just have to watch it, notice it, let it move past, like clouds drifting across a quiet sky. The Buddhists call this the monkey mind, always leaping, always chattering. But with practice, you can simply become the tree it swings through, still, rooted, aware. Even now, your attention is shifting. Maybe you feel the weight of your body against the bed. Maybe you hear a soft hum from your room, the air, the faint tick of a clock. All of this, part of the show, and yet you remain untouched. You are the watcher, the inner silence, the light behind the eyes. This isn't just philosophy. Neuroscience suggests that awareness itself may be a kind of spotlight, a network in your brain that decides what to focus on and what to let fade. But no scan has yet found the observer, the you that watches, because perhaps the observer isn't a place in the brain. Perhaps it is the experience itself, consciousness watching consciousness like a mirror, reflecting itself. And here, in this mirror, you begin to see something else. You are not separate from the thoughts, nor are you entirely one with them. You are the space they move through, the stillness, the silence between the sounds. So let your thoughts pass now. Let them rise and fall. There is no need to hold or push them. Each one is a dancer, bowing gently before the stage light dims. And in the quiet that follows, you feel something deeper, not thought, not emotion, but presence, pure, wordless being, the kind that exists before language, before names, before even the idea of self. And in that space, your body softens, your breath becomes slower. You are no longer thinking about resting. You are resting. This is the beauty of the hidden theater, not the drama it shows, but the peace it hides beneath. Tonight, you sit in that peace, and as the curtains close for now, you may feel it. The gentle truth that the real you is not the show, but the silence behind it. What if this awareness, this quiet watcher, is connected to all other minds? In Chapter 3, we drift into the idea of shared consciousness and explore how your mind may not be as separate as you think. When you close your eyes, it feels like you are alone inside your mind. But what if your thoughts echo across a greater landscape? What if consciousness isn't separate but shared? Tonight, we explore the idea that your mind is part of something far larger, a field of awareness that flows quietly beneath us all. Your eyes are closed. Your body is still. And yet, your mind drifts outward. It moves beyond the edge of your thoughts, beyond the edges of your skin, beyond even the quiet watcher inside you. And now you wonder, what if I am not alone? Not in this room, not in this body, but alone inside this experience of being aware. It feels so personal, doesn't it? Your memories, your voice, your breath, but awareness itself. The fact that you feel anything at all that is not unique to you. It's something we all share. So, here is a question to sleep on. What if consciousness isn't just in you? What if it flows through you, like water through a stream, like wind through an open window? Imagine this, a vast ocean of awareness, and every living mind, yours, mine, everyone's, is like a wave rising from its surface. Each wave looks separate. Each one curls and crashes with its own rhythm. But they are not truly apart. They are made of the same ocean. This idea is not new. Mystics have whispered it for centuries. Philosophers have hinted at it. And now, even science is starting to ask the question, could consciousness be more like a field? Something that exists everywhere, like gravity or light? Could it be that our brains don't create consciousness but receive it? Like a radio tuning into a signal already present. A soft thought, a dreamy one. But as you lie here, floating in stillness, perhaps it doesn't feel so far-fetched. Think of all the times you felt something before it happened, thought of someone, only for them to call moments later, or sensed a mood in the air, even when no one spoke. Science calls this coincidence, but poets call it connection. And maybe both are right, because on some level, deep beneath the noise of thought, your brain is wired to sync with others, mirror neurons, social harmonics, emotional resonance. When someone near you yawns, your brain prepares to yawn. When you see someone cry, you feel something stir inside your chest. Your body is built to feel with others, to tune in. You are not a lone signal tower. You are part of a network, a glowing mesh of thoughts, emotions, instincts, spanning the entire human species. Even now, as you rest, your brain is quietly reaching outward, listening, not with ears, but with something deeper, a kind of inner antenna, sensing the subtle echoes of other minds. You may not notice it, but your dreams do. Your intuition does. That sudden feeling you can't explain, that pull to call someone, that flicker of unease, it may not be yours alone. It may be something passing through you, like wind carrying scent, like music playing faintly from a distance. And what if animals feel it too? What if the entire planet hums with a low, shared rhythm, a chorus of minds whispering to one another in ways we don't yet understand? We call it instinct, but maybe it's more like a current, a deep, shared pulse beneath all thought. Even trees seem to communicate through roots, through scent, through a fungal web beneath the soil, an ancient forest internet. If trees can whisper, if birds can navigate by the stars, if octopuses dream in colors we can't even name, then why not us? Why not something more than this quiet island of thought? Why not a hidden connection flowing beneath us all? And what would that mean for you as you lie here tonight? It means you are not just in the universe. You are of it. You are a thread in the great tapestry of awareness. When you breathe slowly, you add calm to the field. When you soften your thoughts, the whole system relaxes in ways you may never see. You are both receiver and transmitter, both. Ripple and see, right now. Perhaps someone else in the world is drifting off to their thoughts, soft, their breath slow, and without knowing it, you and they are sharing a stillness, not as strangers, but as waves in the same ocean. So let yourself sink into that. Let your body grow heavier. Let your breath deepen. Let the you that feels separate begin to blur. You are not vanishing. You are expanding. You are remembering what it feels like to be connected to everything, and in that remembering, you rest. There is no pressure here. Just notice what it feels like to imagine you are part of something greater. Maybe that feeling brings warmth, or peace, or sleep. Maybe it simply brings curiosity, a soft question to carry into your dreams. Are all minds connected? Maybe not in words, maybe not in thought, but in the quiet, in the stillness. Perhaps they already are. If the mind is a field, then what happens when we dream? In Chapter 4, we descend into the surreal landscapes of the dream world and explore why the brain builds such strange and beautiful visions while we sleep. When you dream, your body rests, but your mind becomes a traveler. It drifts through impossible landscapes, sees familiar faces in strange places, and experiences emotions with vivid intensity. But why do dreams feel so real, even when they're so bizarre? Tonight, we float through the dream world and explore the quiet genius of the sleeping brain. You're lying still, breath rising and falling like waves brushing against a shore. The weight of your limbs sinks gently into the bed, and somewhere behind your closed eyes, a door opens. You step through it, and suddenly you are elsewhere. You're standing in a room that feels familiar, though you've never seen it before. The sky has no sun, yet everything glows. A voice you haven't heard in years says your name. You feel something, joy, sadness, longing, so clearly. It echoes through your chest, and yet none of this is real. Or is it? Why do dreams feel so real, even when they make no sense? The answer, like a dream, isn't simple. When you sleep, your conscious mind lets go. Logic drifts away. The thinking, planning, rational part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, goes quiet, but your deeper brain, the emotional and visual centers, light up like stars. Your brain doesn't stop working. It just begins to work differently. It becomes a storyteller, a painter, a memory blender, a poet swirling through a fog of symbols. It takes fragments of your day, your fears, your hopes, and it begins stitching them together with invisible thread. But here's the curious part. Even though dreams are made of chaos, your brain believes them. It believes the hallway that never ends. It believes you can fly. It believes the person speaking is still alive. Why? Because the parts of your brain responsible for self-awareness and doubt are sleeping too. When you're awake, you question things, you filter, you analyze, you say, that's impossible. But in dreams, that inner critic goes silent, and without it, your dream becomes your reality. Even the wildest images feel grounded. Even the strangest scenes feel like they're happening now. Your body responds, too. Your heart may race during a nightmare. You might cry in your sleep, or smile softly into the pillow. Your dreaming mind doesn't know it's dreaming. It feels like you're really there, and maybe, in some strange way, you are, because dreams are not nonsense. They're messages written in a language you forgot how to read. They speak in symbols, not words. A locked door might mean fear. An endless staircase might echo your search for meaning. A flying dream might be freedom, or simply your brain rewiring old motor memories in new ways. Scientists have studied dreams for decades, but no theory fully explains them. Some say dreams help process memory that your brain replays and reshapes your day's events. Others say dreams are emotional regulators, a kind of night therapy your brain gives itself. And some believe dreams help with problem solving. That the sleeping mind finds creative paths the waking mind could never see, whatever their function. One thing is certain: dreams are real experiences. Even if they don't reflect waking reality, they feel real because they are felt. Your emotions don't know the difference. Your mind doesn't pause to question. It just lives the moment, even if that moment makes no sense in daylight. And then there's the mystery of lucid dreams. Moments when you realize you're dreaming, while still inside the dream. Some people can shape the dream world like clay. Others simply float in it, half wear, half dash, surrendered in those moments. The border between reality and imagination becomes thinner than paper. You become both the dreamer and the dream. And isn't that what you are even now? Lying in the dark, floating between thoughts and sleep, slipping deeper into the quiet sea of unconsciousness. Dreams are not just stories. They are spaces, private worlds built for you, by you, every night. Worlds where time bends, where people long gone return, where you face your fears without knowing why, and yet you always return. You wake, the room is still here, the ceiling, the bed, the soft rhythm of breath, but something inside you feels different, shifted. The dream leaves behind a faint echo, a mood, a memory you can't quite hold. And maybe that's the point. Maybe dreams are not meant to be understood. Maybe they are meant to be felt and remembered in whispers, because even in their strangeness, they teach you something: that your mind is a labyrinth, that your emotions can paint landscapes, that your inner world is vast, wild, and beautifully men. So tonight, as you drift deeper, don't chase the meaning of your dreams. Just let them come. Let your mind become a canvas. Let your memories become music. Let the quiet painter inside you begin their work. Soon you'll pass through that door again, and this time you'll arrive gently. No resistance, no fear, just the simple, strange magic of seeing the impossible and believing it, if only for a little while. Sweet dreams, traveler. Your dreams may be private, but what if they aren't entirely yours? In Chapter 5, we'll explore the strange idea that your dreams might connect you to other minds, and why some dreams feel shared, as if you've been somewhere real. Some dreams feel so vivid, so strange, and yet oddly familiar. Others feel as if someone else was there with you. Waking dreams connect us to other minds, or to something deeper than we know. Tonight, we explore the idea of shared dreaming, the science of dream synchronicity, and the age-old mystery: are dreams ever truly private. You're dreaming, you know it, but only faintly. The way you know you're underwater by the pressure in your ears. The way you know you're not alone, even if no one is speaking. Someone is there. You can feel them. They don't speak, but you know them. And when you wake, you ask yourself, was that just my imagination, or did someone else dream that with me? It's a question as old as storytelling itself. Can two people share the same dream? You're not alone in wondering. Around the world, in myths, in research labs, and in whispered morning conversations, people have reported the impossible. I dreamed of you last night, and you were dreaming of me, too. Two people asleep in different places, waking with the same story, the same symbols. Maybe, but maybe not. Let's begin with the science. So far, no definitive evidence proves that dreams can be consciously shared between two minds. We can't plug two brains together and sync their REM cycles like tuning forks. At least, not yet. But something strange happens in close relationships, couples, twins, parents, and children. When people spend long stretches of life together, their patterns begin to align. Their habits, emotions, even brain waves start to mirror one another. It's called empathic synchronization. And it's very real. One study showed that close partners often enter REM sleep at the same time, even if they're in different locations. Another showed that when one person was disturbed in their sleep, the other, sometimes miles away, experienced restless dreams at the same time. Coincidence, again, perhaps. But when coincidence repeats, it becomes a pattern. And patterns tell us something, that we might be more connected than we think. Now, enter the world of dreams. Dreams aren't just images. They're emotional events, and emotion in humans is contagious. Just being in someone's presence while they're sad or joyful can shift your own state. So when two people are emotionally bonded, is it so strange to think they might sometimes drift into similar dreamscapes? Not the same exact dream, but the same shape, the same symbols, the same feeling, whispered through two different minds. And sometimes that whisper is louder. There are countless stories of dream visits. People who lost loved ones, only to see them again in a dream that felt different, more lucid, more real. Not the mind remembering the person, but the person arriving. They speak, they smile, they say goodbye. And when the dreamer wakes, they feel peace, as if the goodbye was mutual, as if something passed between worlds. Even skeptics struggle to explain these dreams away. They don't follow the logic of typical dreams. They don't warp or melt like memory-based dreams often do. They feel stable, steady, strangely grounded, and they often occur at the same time to multiple people. One family member sees their grandmother smiling and walking away. Another, miles away, dreams the same dot. No one told the other, but the story matches. How? Maybe it's nothing. A mind searching for comfort. But maybe dreams are more than private hallucinations. Maybe they are windows not just into yourself, but into something shared. Some scientists have studied this under the term dream telepathy. They've put dreamers in separate rooms and asked one to focus on sending an image, a face, a shape, a sound to the other while they slept, and occasionally the sleeping mind received it, not clearly, not always, but enough to raise eyebrows, not proof, but curiosity. And that's all dreams really ask of us, isn't it? Curiosity. A willingness to listen. You see, your brain is not a closed box. It's an antenna picking up signals all the time. Maybe some of those signals don't come from the world, but from others. Maybe when you sleep, you tune into a wavelength not your own, and maybe on rare nights, someone else tunes in to you. Meet briefly in a forest that never existed. You speak without speaking, and when you wake, a trace remains, a smell, a mood, a name. We can't yet measure dream sharing with wires or machines, but we can feel its fingerprints, and in the quietest moments, like now, you might wonder, when I close my eyes tonight, will I really be alone? Or will someone else be dreaming too? Sleep is not just rest, it's healing, physical, emotional, and cognitive. The nighttime healers will explore how your body repairs itself while you dream, and why your mind awakens stronger after surrendering to the dark. While you sleep, your body quietly goes to work. It repairs wounds, resets your immune system, flushes toxins from your brain, and rebalances your emotions, all without a single conscious thought. Tonight, we explore the science of how sleep heals us, and why the night is far more than just rest, it's renewal. You are lying still now. The world is quiet, and within you, a miracle is unfolding. You are not doing anything, not thinking, not deciding, and yet your body is healing silently, effortlessly, night after night. Sleep is not the absence of action. It's a hidden orchestra, a quiet revolution inside your cells. The first thing your body does after you drift into slumber is repair tiny tears in your muscles, fixed, damaged cells replaced, inflammation lowered. Even your heart gets a break. Its rhythm softens, its pressure eases. You enter a state where restoration is the only priority. and your body obeys. One of the most astonishing systems that activates while you sleep is your brain's own cleansing cycle. During the day, as you think and move and feel, your brain accumulates waste, metabolic byproducts of all that mental activity. Left too long, these can cloud cognition. Or worse, but your brain has a plan. It waits until you sleep. Then it opens channels between brain cells, pathways that swell like riverbeds in spring. And through them, cerebrospinal fluid flows, flushing toxins away. This is called the glymphatic system, and it functions almost entirely while you sleep. It's like a nighttime janitor sweeping your mind clean. Without it, your brain becomes cluttered. With it, you awaken clear. But healing doesn't stop at the physical. Sleep is medicine for your emotions, too. When you dream, especially in REM sleep, your brain replays your day's experiences, not exactly as they happened, but emotionally filtered. It's like your mind is telling itself a story, trying to find meaning in the chaos. You revisit conversations, moments that stung, moments that lifted you, and as you dream, something softens. What felt sharp becomes round. What felt unbearable becomes distant. This is your brain regulating your emotional memory. It's sorting, softening, letting go. In fact, studies have shown that after a full night of sleep, people remember negative events with less intensity while still recalling the facts. Sleep doesn't erase memory. It relieves its weight, and this, too, is healing. Sleep is also when your immune system sharpens its weapons. When you're sick, your body craves rest. And for good reason. During deep sleep, your immune cells become more active. They patrol more aggressively. They learn that, in fact, vaccines are more effective when followed by a full night's rest. Your body is listening even when you're unconscious. And yet, for something so essential, sleep remains one of the great scientific mysteries. Why did evolution, so precise and efficient, design us to spend a third of our lives unconscious and vulnerable? The answer may be simple, because healing requires silence. Your body can't rebuild when it's dodging stress. Your mind can't sort when it's flooded with input. Sleep is a sacred silence where your system breathes, resets, begins again. In traditional medicine, this was long understood. Ancient Chinese doctors believed the organs healed at different hours of the night. The liver at 1 a.m., the lungs at 4, the heart before dawn. Modern science may not divide the hours this way, but the essence is true. Your body follows a rhythm, a nightly tide of renewal. And if you honor that rhythm, If you give your body the time it asks for, it rewards you with clarity, strength, balance. But the opposite is also true. When we cut our sleep short, we deny the body its repair tools. Wounds take longer to heal. Emotions stay raw. Memory blurs. Over time, the cost becomes heavy. Because healing isn't optional. It's essential. So tonight, as you lie here, not doing, not forcing, know that everything you need is already happening. Your breath flows steadily. Your pulse slows. Your brain releases growth hormones to rebuild tissue. Your cells communicate, signaling what's damaged, what needs replacing. You may be still, but inside you are blooming. Sleep is not wasted time. It's the garden in which tomorrow's strength grows. So breathe deeply. Let yourself be repaired. You are safe. You are healing. And all of this, the quiet, the stillness, the unseen. Work is enough. What happens to time when we sleep? Do we dream in real time or in fragments? Why do some dreams feel like they last hours while others pass in a blink? Dreamtime will explore the strange relationship between sleep and time, and why your mind bends it so easily when you close your eyes. Time inside your dreams behaves strangely, elastic, non-linear, sometimes eternal. In this chapter, we explore how your brain experiences time differently during sleep, why dreams feel longer or shorter than they really are, and how this reveals deeper truths about consciousness and memory. Close your eyes. Let your breath settle. Slow and even. You are no longer bound to clocks or calendars. No alarms, no minutes, no deadlines here. In the space of sleep, time bends. You drift into a dream. In the dream, hours pass, maybe days. You walk through long corridors. You talk with people. You feel emotions that stretch across entire scenes. And then you wake up. Only 5 minutes have passed. How can this be? How can so much happen in so little time? Welcome to Dreamtime, a place where the mind becomes untethered from the ticking of the world. Your brain does not perceive time the way a clock does, not even when you're awake. Instead, it experiences time through change, through sequences, sensations, and memory. When you're dreaming, your sense of continuity is built not on real time, but on narrative time. The events of the dream feel real, so your brain assigns them a timeline, even if none exists. A single second of REM. Sleep can contain entire story arcs, not because they unfold in real time, but because you're dreaming. Brain weaves them together instantly. It's as if your mind is writing, editing, and watching a film. All at once. Think of a movie montage. You see someone training, learning, changing. Days compressed into 30 seconds of music and imagery. But you understand the passage of time. You feel it. Dreams do the same. They compress. They exaggerate. They loop. And because your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that tracks logic and time, is mostly asleep during dreaming, you don't question it. You accept impossible sequences. You move from childhood home to distant future city, from ocean to mountaintop, without ever asking how. Time becomes fluid. Elastic dot, and in this elasticity, something beautiful happens. You become free. Free to revisit the past. Free to imagine futures. Free to reshape reality. In waking life, time flows one way. But in dreams, you are the river, and yet, even though dream time feels strange, it still follows patterns. Most dreams occur during REM sleep, rapid eye movement, which cycles roughly every 90 minutes. Each REM stage grows longer as the night progresses. Your first REM phase may last just a few minutes. Your last can stretch to nearly an hour. This means your dreams grow longer and often more vivid. The closer you get to morning, have you ever noticed how the last dream of the night lingers longer? How it sticks to your memory like dew on a leaf? That's because it's not only longer. It happens just before waking dot. Your mind is closer to consciousness, so you remember more. But even brief dreams can feel endless. A dream that seems to last hours may have occurred in just 30 seconds. The brain, ever the storyteller, fills in the gaps. It retroactively creates context, builds background, as if the dream had been unfolding long before you entered it. It's not lying. It's narrating. And dreams, for all their strangeness, are one of the most fundamental things a brain can do. Even animals dream. Dogs twitch in their sleep. Octopuses change color while resting, possibly reacting to dream imagery. This suggests that dreaming, and, by extension, dream time, is a deeply rooted part of consciousness. Perhaps it's how the brain plays, or heals, or prepares. In many cultures, dreams are considered sacred. Not just messages, but journeys. The Aboriginal peoples of Australia speak of the dreaming, a spiritual space that exists outside linear time, where ancestors, creation, and the present all overlap in their view. Dreamtime is not an illusion. It's a deeper reality, and in a way, science agrees. While dreaming, the boundaries of time soften. You can relive moments with full emotion. You can imagine possibilities that haven't happened. You can grieve, love, fly, all without consequence. Dreams don't just use time. They teach you how to feel it. They remind you that time is not always measured in seconds. Sometimes it's measured in intensity, in meaning, in memory. So tonight, as you enter sleep again, watch how your dreams unfold. Notice how they stretch and contract, how they fold time like pages in a book. You may dream of places you haven't seen in years. You may feel like a child again. You may imagine worlds beyond your own. All of it is possible. All of it is real to the brain that dreams it. And when you wake, you may not remember every detail, but the feeling will remain, like a ripple in a still lake, soft, subtle, timeless, because even though dreams end, their impression lingers, a quiet echo of the night's journey, when the stars sleep too. Whether other planets and even other forms of life might experience rest or dreams in their own way. What does sleep look like beyond Earth? And could it teach us something about the nature of life itself? Does the universe sleep? Could other planets or alien life experience something like rest or even dreams? In this chapter, we imagine what sleep might look like beyond Earth and what it might teach us about consciousness and survival. In the cosmos, you're floating again, not through the fabric of your own thoughts, but through the cool, vast hush of space. The stars pulse softly, like breathing. Galaxies spiral in slow, patient silence. And somewhere, far from Earth, world turns, unseen. Does it know it's turning? Does it sleep? You've always known sleep as something biological, a thing mammals do, a cycle, a rhythm, a healing pause. But what if sleep is more than a function? What if it's a pattern, woven into the universe itself? Out here, past the edge of Earth's sky, there are exoplanets, thousands of them, in distant solar systems. Some of them may have oceans, clouds, atmospheres full of gas and wind. Some may even have life. Not life like us, maybe. Not lungs or hearts or warm blood, but life that moves, that senses, that thinks in some unknowable way. And if it thinks, could it dream? Could there be creatures beneath methane skies, creatures who breathe gases we can't survive, who retreat into long, slow rests as their sun disappears below a shimmering horizon? Sleep, after all, isn't just about eyelids closing. It's about cycles, rest and action, input and reflection, signal and silence. Even plants on Earth rest. They move during day and night. They respond to light and darkness. Their biology follows circadian rhythms. So maybe the rhythm of sleep isn't just about brains. Maybe it's about life finding a way to pause, to survive, repair, conserve. Now imagine a planet locked in twilight, orbiting close to a dim red star. Its surface never warms fully. Its air is thick, slow-moving, and bitter cold. There, life might not sleep in short bursts, but in seasons. A creature might emerge for one long, glowing summer, then sleep through decades of frost. Its dreams, if it has them, would stretch across centuries. Not flickers like ours, but glacial, mythic visions. Could a species evolve to dream entire histories? Could memory stretch across lifetimes of hibernation? Back on Earth, animals like bears, frogs, and snakes hibernate. They shut down large portions of their metabolism. Their body temperature drops, heartbeat slow. Is that sleep, or is it something deeper? Some scientists call it torpor, a kind of suspended animation. But even in torpor, the brain is not always silent. Some creatures still enter REM-like phases. Some still seem to dream. So if life on distant planets evolved under harsher suns or colder moons, it might sleep not nightly, but cyclically, like a tide, waking only when conditions are just right. To eat, reproduce, learn, observe, then returning to slumber. This makes you wonder, could an alien spacecraft be drifting past our solar system, its pilots not dead, but simply sleeping, waiting, dreaming, their consciousness stored away like seeds in winter? If intelligent life ever does reach for the stars, sleep will likely be its companion. Long journeys demand it. The human body cannot stay awake for decades in space. So we imagine cryosleep, suspended rest, a pause between worlds. What if the same idea exists already out there? Not as fiction, but as biology. Even stars themselves seem to rest. They pulse, flare, dim. Their energy rises and falls in cycles spanning millions of years. And black holes, those strange, sleeping giants, compress stillness at cosmic scale. When you zoom out far enough, the universe feels sleepy, not because it is tired, but because it moves slowly, softly, patiently, and perhaps like a sleeper. It dreams of itself. You return to your breath now, still on Earth, still human, but your imagination is orbiting far, far away. You wonder if, tonight, as you close your eyes, you might feel the rhythm of some distant planet, some alien sea, some sleeping life form beneath a green sky. You wonder if sleep is a bridge, not just between waking and rest, but between species, between minds, between worlds. You may never know for sure, but you can dream it, and sometimes that's more than enough. Inside the sleeping brain, we'll return to Earth and journey into the organ that makes sleep so strange and powerful, the brain. We'll explore its rhythms, its chemistry, and how it creates both rest and dreams. What happens inside the human brain during sleep? Why do we dream? What mysterious processes unfold beneath our closed eyes? In this chapter, we wander the shadowy corridors of the mind, exploring the electrical symphony of sleep, its healing functions, and the surreal world of dreams. Close your eyes. You're not in space now, not among stars or alien skies. You are within, drifting into the soft, humming chambers of your own brain. The outside world fades. The clock ticks slower. Gravity pulls you gently toward something ancient, buried deep within your skull. Sleep has begun, but your brain, that delicate, folded universe, has just started to wake up. At first, there's stage 1, light sleep, the boundary between day and night. Your muscles twitch. Your heartbeat begins to slow. You might feel like you're falling, a sudden jolt as your brain switches gears. This is the entry point. A hallway dimly lit, then comes stage 2, deeper now. The room grows quieter, but inside your brain, there's a storm of activity. Your neurons flash in short bursts called sleep spindles, brief electrical flares, like sparks in the dark. They're thought to help protect your sleep from disruption. A guard at the gate. You are still unaware, still floating, and then stage 3, the deep sleep, also called slow wave sleep. Now your brain moves in long, rolling waves of electricity, slow, deliberate, as if it's tuning itself to the Earth's heartbeat. Here, your body heals, tissues repair, energy is restored. But something else is happening to dot your memories, fragments of your day. Names, sounds, emotions begin to rearrange. It's as if your brain is a librarian, quietly placing books back on the shelf. Some it saves, some it lets fade. This is why sleep is so vital for learning. It doesn't just rest you, it rebuilds you. And then comes REM sleep, rapid eye movement, the dream state. Your brain suddenly lights up, almost as active as when you're awake. But your body is paralyzed, frozen in place to keep you safe from acting out your dreams. Your eyes flicker beneath your lids. Your heart races. Your breathing becomes shallow. This is where dreams bloom. Here, the mind plays. Sometimes it sorts through memories. Other times, it creates entire worlds, unreal cities, impossible people, conversations that never happened. Why? No one knows for certain. Some scientists believe dreams help us process emotions like grief, anxiety, desire. Others think it's the brain rehearsing problems, testing scenarios in a safe simulation. There's even a theory called threat simulation, the idea that dreams evolved as a kind of mental training ground for danger, to help us prepare, to practice escape. But perhaps dreaming is simply what happens when consciousness is set loose without rules. Inside your sleeping brain, hundreds of billions of neurons are firing. Some form pathways you'll remember in the morning, like a song you suddenly know. Others will vanish the moment you wake. Your brain, in sleep, is a sculptor, chiseling away unnecessary thoughts. Strengthening others, it is pruning your mind, clearing space. And here's the strange part. Without sleep, you begin to lose yourself. Hallucinations, memory lapses, emotional spirals, even the loosening of identity. That's how deeply tied your sense of self is to rest. Sleep isn't just healing, it's you. rebootling. Back in the waking world. Science is learning more every year. Neuroimaging can now watch the sleeping brain in real time. We can see where dreams light up. We can track what memories are stored. Even more curious, some researchers are learning how to influence dreams using sound, smell, electrical pulses. Lucid dreamers, people aware they are dreaming, are learning to interact with their dreams, to fly, to speak, to explore. It's as if sleep is not an absence of waking, but a different kind of consciousness, a hidden dimension within us. Tonight, when you sleep, you'll visit this place again. But maybe now you'll notice more. The shifting of your mind's weather. The moment the librarian appears, the slow waves, the firework bursts, the dream maker stirring behind your eyes. You are not unconscious. You are simply elsewhere. And that elsewhere is always waiting for you, just beneath the surface of night, the architecture of dreams. We'll dive deeper into the dream world, its symbols, its strangeness, and its possible meanings. Why do we dream of flying, falling, or seeing lost, loved ones? And what secrets might the dream realm still be holding? What are dreams made of? What hidden structures form their surreal logic? In this chapter, we tiptoe through the architecture of dreams, from recurring themes to the emotional blueprints they follow, and explore how neuroscience, psychology, and ancient wisdom interpret their meaning. You find yourself walking down a long hallway. The walls are familiar, a school you once attended, but the colors shift like liquid. The doors open by themselves, and at the far end, someone waits. You can't see their face, but they know you. You turn to run, but your feet sink into the floor as if made of wet clay, and then you wake up. This is the world of dreams, not random, not chaos, but something structured, woven from memory, emotion, and imagination. A strange architecture built in silence. Every night, let's step into this dream realm and explore its hidden geometry. Dreams are not just flickering nonsense. They are crafted, brick by brick, by the limbic system, the emotional core of the brain, the amygdala, which processes fear, the hippocampus, which builds and stores memory, the prefrontal cortex, partly shut off during sleep, letting logic melt away. Together, they build the dream. But what's fascinating is this: dreams often follow patterns. There are recurring themes, common symbols, a shared dream language that stretches across time, culture, and even species, a universal dream, often linked to anxiety, loss of control, or a sudden life change. But physically, it may be triggered by your brain misinterpreting the sensation of muscle relaxation. A classic threat simulation. Your brain may be preparing you for confrontation or conflict, rehearsing in shadows. Curiously common. Others say it's tied to communication, as the mouth is our tool for speaking, often joyous, sometimes terrifying. A release from earthly limits. Control versus chaos. Dreaming of missing an exam or being naked in public. These reflect social anxiety, fear of judgment, or imposter syndrome. But not all dreams are symbols. Some are stories, your brain strings. Together, people you've met, places you've been, emotions you've felt, into surreal. Cinematic narratives. You might dream of your childhood home collapsing into the sea, while your best friend turns into a stranger, and your favorite song plays backward in the distance. It doesn't need to make sense. Dreams don't follow reality, they follow emotion. Whatever you felt most intensely during the day is more likely to appear. Fear, longing, jealousy, joy. Dreams are emotional mirrors. They don't tell you what's happening. They show you how you feel about it. In ancient times, dreams were thought to be messages from gods, from ancestors, from the future. Even today, some cultures still believe dreams carry prophetic meaning. And while modern science doesn't support that view directly, it does agree that dreams can be deeply meaningful. Studies show that people often make better decisions after sleeping on it. Dreams may allow us to test outcomes, to explore fears safely, or even unlock creative breakthroughs. Artists, scientists, and inventors have all claimed that their ideas came in a dream. The periodic table, the structure of Benzi, Paul McCartney's melody for Yesterday, each one delivered in sleep, as if dreams are the brain's way of making unexpected connections, a creative engine without limits. But perhaps the strangest part, most of us forget 90% of our dreams within minutes of waking, unless we train ourselves to remember. Dream journaling, lucid dreaming, and hypnagogic awareness are all tools that allow you to go deeper into the architecture of dreams. Lucid dreamers can even control their dreams, steering the story like a director on set. Imagine being able to fly at will, to ask your dream characters questions, to explore the edges of your own subconscious. Some even use lucid dreaming for healing, to confront fears, to say goodbye, to visualize success. Dreams, then, aren't just random brain static. They are inner landscapes, malleable, mysterious, meaningful. They are you, but through a warped mirror. A maze with no beginning and no end. So, the next time you fall asleep, know that you are stepping into architecture not made of wood or stone, but of memory and meaning. Every hallway, every face, every impossible turn is built from something real, and the architect is you. The edge of reality. We'll explore strange phenomena at the border of sleep, from sleep paralysis to hypnagogic hallucinations, and what they reveal about consciousness and fear. What happens when the dream world refuses to let go? In this chapter, we journey to the boundary between consciousness and sleep, a threshold haunted by flickering shadows and half-formed thoughts. Here, phenomena like sleep paralysis, hypnagogic hallucinations, and false awakenings unfold, challenging our understanding of what's real and what's imagined. It's the middle of the night. Your eyes are open, but you cannot move. There's a weight on your chest, something dark watching from the corner of the room, breathing, waiting. You try to scream. Nothing comes out. Your heart pounds louder than the silence. Then, suddenly, you jolt awake. The room is empty, but the fear stays. You've just crossed the edge of reality. This borderland between wakefulness and sleep is one of the most mysterious frontiers of the human mind. Not quite dream, not quite consciousness. It is a place where the brain is both asleep and awake. And in this liminal space, the strangest things happen. One of the most well-documented and terrifying experiences is sleep paralysis. It happens when your body remains in REM sleep, paralyzed for your protection, but your mind wakes up too early. You become aware, trapped in a body that won't respond. But that's not all. People often report hallucinations, a presence in the room, a shadow figure, sometimes more than one. They feel pressure, movement, a whisper just behind the ear. Ancient cultures interpreted this as demonic visitation, witchcraft, or a spirit sitting on your chest Hence the name night hag in some folklore. In truth, it's a vivid, conscious blending of dream imagery and waking fear, your brain still partially dreaming while your eyes are open. The beginning of sleep also holds strange experiences. As you drift off, your brain may enter a state called hypnagogia. This is a rich, fertile terrain of half-dreams, brief flashes of image, sound, sensation. You may hear voices calling your name, feel like you're falling, see bright light, geometric shapes, or even entire scenes unfold. Artists and philosophers have tried to harness this state. Salvador Dali would nap in a chair holding a key. As he drifted into hypnagogia, his hand would release the key, waking him, allowing him to capture bizarre, dreamlike visions. Thomas Edison used the same trick for creative inspiration. This is the mind unfiltered, a gateway into deeper thought and sometimes surreal beauty. Have you ever dreamed that you woke up only to realize you were still dreaming? This is known as a false awakening, and it can loop. Some people report waking up multiple times within a dream, making coffee, brushing their teeth, before finally realizing the illusion. It can be unnerving. The sense of reality begins to fracture. And for some, this causes existential distress. Are we ever truly awake? How would we know? So, what's happening at the neurological level? During transitions into and out of REM sleep, our brain passes through unstable states. Electrical activity becomes erratic. Dream centers remain active. Motor functions remain inhibited. This mismatch causes the phenomena we experience in sleep paralysis. Your brain is awake, but your body is still paralyzed. In hypnagogia, fragments of dream logic leak into the waking world. In false awakenings, the brain simulates full consciousness inside the dream itself. This boundary zone is a fragile place, and perhaps that's why it feels so haunted throughout history. These edge-of-sleep states have inspired myths, legends, and ghost stories. In Japan, it's called kanashibari and is linked to ancestral spirits. In Nigeria, the devil on your back is a common way of describing sleep paralysis. In the West, shadow people, alien abductions, and out-of-body experiences often stem from this state. Some cultures see it as spiritual initiation, others as a curse. Even today, some claim that entities seen during sleep paralysis are not hallucinations, but something else, real beings that exist in another frequency. Only visible in these liminal states. Science can't confirm this, but it also can't disprove the experience, because what we feel in these moments, the fear, the vividness, the presence, is undeniably real to the person living it. Can we protect ourselves? Yes, to some degree. Sleep hygiene helps. Going to bed at consistent times, avoiding stress, and limiting caffeine and screens can reduce frequency. Lucid dreaming techniques can offer awareness and control during these states. Breathing exercises can keep panic at bay if you find yourself paralyzed. But most importantly, know that you are not alone. These experiences are ancient, common, and deeply human. They are not a glitch. They are part of what it means to be alive, to live at the border of mystery. As you lay down to sleep tonight, you may wonder, will your dreams come gently, like a tide rising softly around you? Or will you find yourself on the edge of reality between two worlds, awake yet dreaming? Listen to the silence, watch the shadows, and trust the stillness. The universe within. We leave the external cosmos and dive inward into the neural galaxy of the mind itself. What lies beyond thought? Can consciousness extend beyond the self? And is dreaming just the first step? In this final chapter, we turn from the outer cosmos to the inner one, your mind. Through the lens of consciousness, dreams, memory, and emotion, we explore the vast neurological universe inside you, a galaxy of neurons, stardust, and thought. As sleep takes you, you float weightlessly through this quiet, sacred space, the final journey of the night. You've drifted far from the shore of waking life. The stars outside your window no longer call to you, because now you are turning inward toward a deeper galaxy, a universe made not of planets and dust, but of thoughts, memories, and quiet pulses of electricity. Close your eyes. Feel your breath. This is the moment you fall into yourself, inside. Your skull is a universe, roughly 86 billion neurons. Each neuron connects with thousands of others, forming trillions of connections. A web more intricate than the cosmic web of galaxies. Signals fire across these synapses at speeds up to 250 miles per hour. Each spark, a thought, a memory, a feeling, a dream. The structure of the brain, its folds and ridges, its balance between chaos and order echoes the structure of the universe itself. Some physicists and neuroscientists have noticed this eerie symmetry, the neural network of the brain, and the large-scale structure of the universe. Both form filamentary webs, as if one is the microscopic reflection of the other. You are not just in the universe. You are a universe. Every night you journey inward to places beyond logic, cities that dissolve when you look away, faces made of light, voices that speak. In metaphor, dreams are the purest expression of your inner cosmos. They are maps of your emotional topography, records of your past, previews of your hopes, echoes of memories. You may walk through a childhood home that no longer exists, or speak to someone who has passed, or fall endlessly through skies' voids. These are not just illusions. They are signals from the deeper chambers of your mind places you can only visit while the outer world sleeps. We often imagine space as the final frontier, but many scientists and philosophers argue that consciousness is the true mystery. What is it? Why does the brain generate experience? How can matter think? We don't fully know. We know the parts, neurons, chemistry, blood flow, but not the spark that makes you aware that you are you. Some theories suggest that consciousness is a fundamental force of the universe, like gravity or electromagnetism. Others believe it's an emergent property, rising from complexity. But no one can explain how a thought feels, or how love works, or what awareness truly is. Perhaps the deepest parts of the universe are not outside you, but inside your brain, holds hidden doorways. The default mode network, active when you're daydreaming, imagining, or reflecting. The limbic system, where emotion and memory dance together in the dark. The pineal gland, nestled deep in the brain, sometimes called the third eye. Ancient mystics believed it was the gateway to higher dimensions, and when you sleep, these networks ignite, they open, they rearrange, they whisper. You may not remember where you go each night, but you return, change, dreams, sort your emotions. They make meaning from chaos. They heal. They show you who you are becoming. In deep sleep, something miraculous happens. Your brain waves slow. Neurons fire in perfect rhythm. The chatter fades. The ego dissolves. You return to a state of quiet unity. No longer a separate self, just a pulse in the fabric of being. This is not nothingness. It is everythingness. A reset, a renewal, and when REM begins, your dreams bloom from the quiet, like stars forming from nebulae, like galaxies spinning from gas and time. You are both the observer and the observed, both stardust and storyteller. As you sleep, your brain sifts through the day. It strengthens the important memories, prunes the useless ones. It replays faces, smells, moments, not always exactly, but emotionally. Sleep is your time machine. It lets you re-enter old places, rehear old voices, re-meet your younger self, and each night your memories build a world, a dreamscape, an inner terrain you carry with you, always unseen but real. You are a walking constellation of thoughts, a system of galaxies orbiting one another inside a skull. You hold more data than all the books in the world, more emotional complexity than any supercomputer, and the power to imagine infinite worlds. Every thought you have ripples through this internal universe. Every emotion is a solar flare. Every idea, a new star. So tonight, as you drift to sleep, know this: you are not just looking at the stars, you are made of them. And in your dreams, you become them. Let go of the outside. Let go of time. You are no longer bound by your body, your name, or even your thoughts. You are floating, weightless, through the inner galaxy of your own consciousness. Let it carry you. Let your dreams unfurl. Let the stars inside you light the way. Sleep now, dear traveler. The universe within awaits.